Yes, people. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Blues TV. I hope you guys are doing well. Big shout out to everyone that's subscribed to the channel, everyone that's always been liking the videos, follow up the updates. Big shout out to everyone. And honestly, you guys are so amazing. I can't just thank you guys enough. I hope everyone, you know, what can I say? What can I say? Just words of appreciation to you guys. And today we have Yashir on the TV, and honestly, I'm just being honored to have him on the channel, guys. Guys, I'm gonna put out his handle down below this video, and please subscribe to his channel. Let's keep growing as a family, and obviously, still a lot of things to bring out to you guys. And on this one, we're gonna be talking about wrapping up the transfer windows. Uh, yeah, we're just gonna have Yashir and just talk about obviously the transfer window. So Yashir, welcome to the channel. Great to have you, my brother.
Listen, man, thank you for having me on first and foremost. And yeah, man, look, I'm looking, make sure you're liking and subscribing, people. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to have a chat, man. Let's see what happens. Listen, let's talk about this transfer window, innit? Let's talk about this transfer window.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been a roller coaster transfer window, to be honest.
hmm
Loads of players coming in, players going out. I mean, transfer deadline came in, and a lot of dramas today. What do you think about all these sagas and everything? Well,
Bro, listen, I can't lie. Let's say, look, since you mentioned the saga, yeah, I'm gonna talk about Nicholas Jackson, innit? Because, bro, Nicholas Jackson, I
yeah,
don't know what you think of Nicholas Jackson, innit? But you see, for me, I said I consider him he's very lucky that he's been able to be Chelsea's number one striker for 3 years now almost,
yeah,
and basically unchallenged. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Usually we'll bring a striker in the year after or the year after. So he's been given a chance.
mm,
So as someone like me who's played football, yeah, and I've played on the wings, I've played up front, so I know what the differences are. He plays football like someone who's a left winger who's playing up front. So there's a lot of things that he's missing that someone that plays up front should have. But he's also young, so those things get developed, right?
mm,
But he's not a natural strike. And you see it with his body positioning when he shoots. He misses the ball or he doesn't hit it right or his ball striking. All these things that you realize he doesn't have is
mm,
because he's used to playing on the wing. You don't need those things as much.
mm, yeah,
So the first season he was scoring goals. Obviously, he only really played there because Nkunku got injured. Do you remember on the pitch in
yeah,
pre-season?
absolutely, yeah, yeah,
And then because his link up with Palmer was so good, we decided, you know what? Let's see if he can do a job.
yeah,
And Poch was gaslighting us the whole season, saying, "Don't worry, when Nkunku comes back," and that never happened. But
yeah,
obviously, then he had that second season, and we looked at that as well, and we thought maybe that will get better on the Maresca. And for me, it started well. The beginning of the season was fine. He was scoring goals, West Ham, and all these.
Western
Okay, maybe
goals,
something changed.
bang, yeah,
I thought maybe something changed. Give him a chance.
yeah,
And then again, it was the same thing where it dropped, and then all the chances Palmer creates is gone wasted. Is wasted. So
yeah,
then I said, you know what? We need to get a striker in January because if we don't get top four for us, already calamity. Yeah,
yeah,
if you don't get top four,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
calamity.
yeah,
So when I started seeing, and then I realized, okay, maybe he didn't change his form. Maybe it's just purple patch,
mm,
and that's when I realized it's a purple patch. And also, you need to realize we never really had any other striker besides Q in it. And
yeah, just go, yeah, yeah,
yeah, Nkunku was there, but he's one of them guys. I don't want to play up front. I want to play in the 10.
yeah,
We're not going to be playing ahead of Palmer in the 10. So, how about you contribute to the team when we need you to play up front?
yeah,
But for me, with him, I think I said, you know what? He wants to improve. Let's see what he does. But my thing was, when we had that summer window when we were linked to Osherman,
yeah, yeah,
I'm not really a biggest fan of Oshiman, but my thing's always been if you're gonna get him or you get Tony, I wanted Ivan Tony.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
because this is the thing with me. You know the strikers we have now, they can hold up the ball. They can also run in behind.
yeah,
So they give you two different options.
yeah,
If you have an Ollie Watkins, he can only run in behind. He can't hold up the ball.
yeah. No,
Does that make sense? It's
yeah,
the same thing with the Arsenal has now with Gyökeres. He can only run in behind. He can't hold up the ball. Those are the people that we call trampoline foot.
mm,
When you pass the ball into them, remember when you had Giroud, the ball sticks.
yeah,
Ball goes from the goalkeeper to the striker. It sticks. You can still play football there.
mm,
When you have trampoline foot, as soon as it hits the striker, it goes out for the throw in. Exactly. Now my problem was that I don't think, even though Osherman was good, I didn't think he was gonna suit our play because we always play more link up and we also play a bit closer to the goal.
yeah,
So we need sometimes in tight spaces, wherever we needed someone that's able to move the ball. Now Osherman would give you a lot of, he'd finish a lot of the chances.
yeah.
That's similar to what us Gyökeres can do. He can finish a lot going forward,
The
but
coming balls,
when it comes to link up, he's a
link
bit
ups.
like he goes missing. So if he doesn't score a goal, he doesn't actually facilitate for others.
Yeah, and that's why
That's what
Hurricane is
Kamara
quite
can do.
different, you know.
So
Yeah,
this is why I wanted Ivan Tony because he was not the best running behind, but he can still help us play football.
yeah,
Obviously, we didn't get Ivan Tony. He went to Saudi. The Osman thing, we saw what happened to that. So we ended up with Jackson. So when January came, I said, "Look, you just need to get me a striker." So how about? Because I wanted some Jackson to learn from someone else
yeah,
and develop, and then when he's ready, he can be number one.
mm.
I just felt like it was also unfair on him to just be playing, even through bad form, and every week was getting worse. In Jackson.
Absolutely, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So when the window came now, and obviously you know how the season ended with Jackson. He got a red card against Newcastle,
yeah,
lost his
yeah.
head, which also never helped. And then obviously done the same in the Club World Cup.
Club World Cup as
I
well.
think for me, the Newcastle one is when I kind of was like, okay, I'm tired of Jackson now because I can't go further than top four next season. If we just about make top four, it's gonna be in spite of Jackson.
Yeah,
And that's being honest. I liked him as well as a player. I just thought because for me he can hold up all right, but he has good link up.
mm,
He can run off the. He can do what's it called? He can make really good runs in the middle of the park. You know when
yeah,
he just turns on a defender or
yeah,
he
yeah,
makes
yeah.
really good.
He takes on
The
defender.
problem is his runs in the box.
Yeah,
My issues were his runs in the box. He was never really in the right place.
yeah,
He was never really at the back post or the near post at the right time.
mhm,
Obviously, he can't hit the ball. That's another story. Even
yeah,
in the Conference
absolutely.
League final, hit his shoulder. But
Mm,
so I wanted someone else in it.
yeah,
But I wasn't really thinking of selling Jackson. My thing's always been I'll keep Jackson
yeah.
second.
That's where I want to kind of come in. You know, to me, I feel like people need to realize that Chelsea signed Nicholas Jackson from Villarreal, is it? And this guy has never played in the professional, stage before going to Villarreal. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So you are signing a striker that's not got that kind of sort of experience. His first experience playing in the Europe, I mean playing in the top level, is Villarreal. So and that's where a lot of disciplines comes in to me. I feel like you know a sort of striker you're signing. And that's why when you look at loads of strikers in Europe, they're a different discipline to be honest. Because when you look at their background, where they started from, how they play and all these things, tells a lot. So to me, I feel like I was never an advocate of selling Jackson. All I am asking for is bringing someone that can compete with him. Bro, I'm gonna assure you it's difficult to see a striker like a Jackson in sense of someone that has never played in, a top level, just coming into Villarreal, spending I think a season or two seasons in Villarreal, is it? Before Chelsea
I
signing.
think 2 seasons, but even then he played on the left.
Yeah,
But
so
I'm trying to tell you, he's not a striker. He's a left winger. He was
yeah,
playing left wing. He
and
only played up front because Poch put him up front.
yeah, And I feel like during the Poch era, we saw quite a few flings of him playing from the wing as well.
Mhm.
And he's more like a better player, comfortable player playing from the wing. I feel like we should have kept Jackson, to be honest. To me, I feel like why do we have to spend that kind of money on key things when you have a player like Jackson that can play for you as a winger and sometimes can play for you as a striker? I feel like we should have explored some different options, and we shouldn't have find ourselves in this situation, you know,
Mhm.
because I don't see any reason why we have to think we have too much of squad depth. Because right now, to be honest, I am scared of this whole team in the world because I've looked into the three games that we've won. We are not winning in the kind of, I mean, the kind of, how do I put it? The way we win the game is not like at the top level when you look at it. Crystal Palace, we struggled a lot. We couldn't make anything happen, the way the transition, and we couldn't create too much. And when you look at West Ham is one of the, you can't, they were smashed by Sunderland 3-0. So you know what I mean. First 10 minutes they scored Chelsea, which shouldn't, we considered a very poor goal. So to me, I felt like these three games, the way I've seen the games, I'm not happy at all. I'm not seeing us competing with sort of Liverpool and the big boys in Premier League, to be honest. So I would have been so much happy if we keep Jackson, you know, in the sense that you have Pedro there that can play as a number nine and of course can play as a cam as well. Why not keeping Jackson that can also play as a winger? Because he's been in the club for 2 years. He's got the Premier League experience.
Mhm.
He has a very good link up with the likes of Palmer and so I don't know.
I'll explain it to you, but you see
Yeah,
me, the one thing I don't, I think, I think the relationship started to deteriorate. In my opinion, is when obviously we bought Delap early, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Me, I rate Delap highly, but that's that I know he's not one of those guys people look at to say that he's a really good striker, but he's one of them guys that can strike the ball with both feet. He can run in behind. He can hold up the ball. So you basically getting a Jackson on steroids, but he can also run in behind.
yeah,
But my thing was, cool. He's naturally a striker. That's gonna help. He scored 12 goals for Ipswich,
yeah, yeah.
and
12
he's
goals.
the only outlet. It was him and Omari Hutchinson. So
Yeah,
he got similar number to Jackson. Well, Jackson played most of the season. He played most of the season, but they don't even play in a way to suit him. That's a different story though. But I'll explain it to you. You see, Jackson has been used to playing up front. He doesn't want to go back playing on the left. He now believes that if he sorts himself out, he can play up front. This is why I went to Bayern Munich, because he believes he can take over from Kane once Kane goes, because Kane's at a certain age now.
yeah,
And also, I think Kane's contract runs at a certain point. He has an exit clause, so he can leave next season or the season after for low money.
yeah.
So, but I think the relationship deteriorated in the Club World Cup when he got the red card.
Red card.
When
Yeah,
he got the red card, we've gone quickly and got João Pedro,
yeah,
and he's
yeah,
been out. Now he was not, and you know Jackson's behavior in terms of his. Like I remember in Potter's season, he was getting yellow card every game.
yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah,
doesn't control himself. So
yeah.
I think he got used to being a striker, a number one striker. So for you to put him from number one to number three, he's not gonna have it.
He's not. Yeah, he's not gonna have
Yes.
it. Yeah,
So if you tell him, okay, now we're putting you on the left, I don't know how he really would play on the left. Me, I don't have an issue with Gittins. I think Gittins is actually a really good footballer,
yeah,
and my thing kind of was we should have kept Sancho, but that's a different story because
yeah,
for
yeah,
me he's known to play at a high level, and I know that he's also a bit more of a link up player. But a lot of these people now they're like direct wingers. They just like the guy that runs all the way to the edge and then he cuts any crosses or shoots.
yeah,
They don't like someone that has more ability on the ball. They just want someone to kick the ball down the wing, cut in and shoot. They want goal scoring wingers.
yeah,
But if you don't play in a way where you need goal scoring wingers and you have a striker, it doesn't always work. Because remember, the winger's main job is usually to create for the striker.
Yeah, yeah,
The GA of a winger don't really matter. It's only really, let's say, when you play with a false nine like a Firmino that used to create for Salah and Mane.
yeah.
Those people's jobs is to score goals. So even when Firmino wasn't getting numbers, we know that the wingers are getting numbers. But now people are so fixated on wingers getting numbers.
Hmm?
When they see a winger that doesn't get numbers, he's rubbish.
It's rubbish, isn't it? Yeah.
But that's a different story. My thing with Gittins, I think he is he's direct, he can dribble and he can score. I think a lot of people have overreacted from the 2 or 3 games that they've seen.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Maresca's also not really giving him a lot of time.
Mhm.
As in, when even West Ham, he brought him off the bench. I think he didn't start him. I felt
Yeah.
like sometimes maybe we should have started him to get more minutes, confidence, whatever. But that's neither here or there. My main thing is Garnacho. I think that signing was not needed at all. Because for me, he's the worst left winger in the league anyway.
Mhm.
Why would you bring basically the similar profile to Gittins? You'd rather have two different ones. This is what I was saying. If we had Sancho and then he bought Gittins, do you remember when we had Sancho and Mudryk?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nottingham Forest game. I know Mudryk can people are hating him from before, but he's a better footballer than Garnacho. And
Absolutely.
people turned on him. So my
Mhm.
thing was, what if you're turning on him? And it was a similar story with Mudryk. He only had 25 professional games before he was played for Shakhtar.
Yeah.
Well, that was including Shakhtar. So he barely had any l-
Professional.
games at the high level for us to bring him.
Yeah, yeah.
His family's still in Ukraine. He's moved to a new country. He's now in the Premier League. He's young. He was on the bench on the Potter. Remember when he had the big squad with Aubameyang and everyone?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
wasn't getting picked. Then he was on the, I think it was Potter. No, no, no.
Started.
Pochettino was playing him on the half space on the left, not out wide on the wing. Do you remember
Yeah.
Aston Villa when everyone's crossing
Mhm.
him the ball? Two players are next to him when he should be a touchline winger. So this season, on last season on the Maresca, when he's finally being coached, you saw a different Mudryk. And then when he went in, remember he started to become not so good, but at some point he was good to
Yeah,
the point
this quite
where he was a backup.
Conference leagues.
He was
Yeah,
a guy off the bench for Sancho.
yeah.
So when we had tired legs, he would come on and
Come
he
on.
would exploit the space.
Yeah. Do some great job.
Obviously, what happened is unfortunate. We don't know if he's guilty, not guilty. I don't really talk about that situation because a lot of the
Yeah,
time, if a player hasn't done anything or someone spots something in his feud, that's a different story.
yeah,
See,
yeah.
But
And the reality is, as long as you're linked to something like that, it's just ever going. I mean,
yeah, but my issue is Mudryk had, let's say, if you ask me what's so good about Mudryk, Mudryk was very quick
very quick.
to
Yeah,
the point where he was a player that I haven't seen someone as quick as him for a long time. You're talking about Mbappe's and those people, but even then, you bought Garnacho, who's worse than Mudryk. He's not faster than him. He can't dribble like him. I know that Mudryk's shooting wasn't the best, but he carried Ukraine into the Euros at the time.
yeah,
So it's not like he was useless, but he was more of a confidence player. Confidence players, you have to manage them, and also when you bring them on, when they play well, you need to kind of let them. Okay, you can play the next game, so they can build on the confidence.
absolutely.
But
Yeah,
this is my issue. So Jackson on the left wing, I don't even think that after what happened with the whole red card situation, Maresca not really being able to trust him anymore because
yeah.
essentially you've lost us the Newcastle. We drew the Newcastle game, I think, or lost the Newcastle game, and then now you're doing this in the Club World Cup,
But again,
literally a couple of minutes. And I think from then he knew that he was going to be potentially on the way out when he started seeing two strikers coming.
yeah, absolutely.
And my point is from that, maybe he could have stayed after, in the injury, but even that situation was very unfortunate to see the lab get injured.
Yeah,
And he was on the plane because during the game, Fabrizio posted him in on the plane on the way to Munich.
yeah.
So maybe if we didn't agree early, like had, if we didn't send him on his medical
On his
early,
medical early, yeah, should
it's
have.
just unfortunate the way it went.
Yeah,
But at the same time, for me, if you look at it from a business perspective, is an amazing deal, blood.
Oh, it's an amazing deal
Amazing.
because
16
and
million euros for a loan fee.
for a loan
The
fee
World
and
Cup is a world
obligation,
record fee, bro.
yeah, an obligation to buy. At the end of the day, we're making, something around 70 million for a striker we bought.
Yeah, but bro, loan fees are usually 5 million, six
Yeah,
million,
this
seven
is
million.
yeah, this is
Bro, they paying all his wages. Which
yeah,
the good thing obviously with our system is that it's low wages. So
yeah,
a lot of the time to pay the wages. But it's the business deals, and for me, after we realized we're gonna tell him to come back and he didn't want to come back,
yeah,
just sell him.
yeah. Because of course you don't
You
want
don't want to play, but you already know how Jackson behaves,
yeah,
and you don't want him not being happy in the team.
happy.
Him being partly happy is not enough. So if you
It's
bring
not
him
enough
on,
because you need sort of full concentration in it. Like even when players are full concentrated, you don't get 100% out of them. But
exactly.
what
So
if
if
they
he
don't
doesn't
want
want
to
to
play?
be here
Like
and he really wants to be there,
yeah,
just sell him. Obviously, we're lucky that Gu's very professional. And even Ben Jacobs was saying that when we went to recall Mark Gu, obviously with that loan deal, we never put an exit clause in
mm.
the loan deal because we expected him to just be on loan.
To just be on loan for the season.
Yes.
Yeah,
So for me, all three parties had to agree to cancel the loan, and that would also put Sunderland in a situation where they have to
situation where
manage
they
the
need
players.
to look. Yeah,
Yeah, so it does, him coming back and not being angry, but at the same time, he also knows that he'll be able to get minutes.
minute.
He's
Yeah,
a second
yeah,
striker until the lap comes back. So we'll see how he performs. And you remember as well on deadline day, both the strikers went down.
yeah, yeah,
Everything's possible. So him coming back has kind of saved us because even I remember when in that game he took Jackson off and brought Gu because Jackson got injured
yeah,
and he was occupying the defenders, the things that
yeah,
Jackson wasn't doing. And he thought, okay, cool, maybe give him a bit more minutes. And he
yeah.
was our top scorer, I think, in the club conference league.
Yeah, 6 goals. He was second, I think second because there's a guy that scored 8 goals in it. So
Mm.
yeah, he came second in it, and
Yeah, he's our top scorer. Yeah, yeah, I'm saying he's our top
I
scorer.
really, really enjoyed the way he played in the conference league. I had so much confidence in him. I just feel like he needs to grow more, like needs to get some more because, you know, the thing is Premier League is just so much different in it. Like the way I mean, the intensity of the game is quite different. Everything is fast. Everything happens in seconds. I mean, especially when you're dealing with high profile defenders. These guys are they knows how to bully strikers. So if you are not quick enough, you don't have, and that's why you can see players like Isak, they outsmart the defenders very quick because they knows what it takes to do things in the Premier League compared to when you're talking about La Liga and all these places. So
Mhm.
what I'm just thinking is that if he comes back, I don't know because I don't know how he's gonna play out. To be honest, how is he gonna play? In between all these defenders in the Premier League and all. I know he scored for Sunderland. To be honest, I don't know. Is it against Wolves or what
I
was
don't, I don't know. I don't know. All
against?
I know is,
Well,
for me, sometimes these people you need to give them a chance.
yeah, yeah,
I know that Barcelona fans weren't happy about him leaving. And that sometimes give you an idea of what they think of the player.
mhm,
And for me, you don't know what a player has until you give him an opportunity. I
yeah,
feel like because he's a natural striker, you've seen how he presses. You've seen how he plays. He has good feet. Um, so a lot of the times, if a player is a good natural footballer,
yeah,
the rest can be figured out. The
yeah,
problem we have is nowadays is that a lot of these footballers are athletes first, and then they get taught how to be a footballer. It's not
yeah,
natural. Yeah,
yeah. It's not.
he, he's not like them uncles that play football like normal or
Yeah, because there's a
exactly.
quite huge difference between being a natural footballer and being, yeah, the way you said it, when you're natural footballer, there's a limit to what the coach needs to have to your, ability. It's just
Because yeah,
you have
all
to
the
put it
athletic
in,
stuff, all
do
the
it
athletic
easy
stuff
like,
you can learn.
yeah,
You can train to be better,
yeah,
right? But you can't certain things in football you can't teach. If you don't have it, you don't
yeah.
have
If you
it.
don't have it, you don't have it.
Yeah. So for me, listen, I'm not really. I know you know how the Chelsea fans are. A lot of the times, if something that they don't like doesn't happen, everything's doom and gloom.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Man,
I remember last season
yeah,
as I was doing watch alongs, I was doing shows. People were telling me we're not making top four, we're not gonna win the conference league, we're not
oh
gonna.
yeah, yeah,
And I feel like sometimes we have to first see and then you judge it. So I
yeah,
told a lot of people when the window closes, I will tell you what I think of the window.
yeah,
Because if you bring if you're already moaning last month, and then this month we get the centre back, the goalkeeper, the striker, everything, why were you moaning last week?
yeah,
You don't
absolutely,
have evidence. So a
yeah,
lot of people keep telling you we're not gonna get this, we're not gonna get that, but you don't know the future. So there's a lot of things you're talking about that don't make sense unless you have inside knowledge that we don't have.
yeah.
So
But I just feel like, to me, the way things are right now, to me, honestly, I feel like we don't have a very good squad depth, especially when we're playing in four competitive, cup this season, Champions League, Premier League, and games are coming in week by week, and
okay, but what are the squad depth? Where?
yeah, what you're talking about, let's say a replacement for Palmer. To be honest, Palmer can definitely play every game, you know. And to be honest with you, for me, the last game, I'm not so happy with Enzo Fernandez. I mean, the number eight role is very, very crucial, determine games a lot. And when you see what Pedri is doing in Barcelona, you know that, you know, to me,
Yeah,
I
but
feel
it depends on what the manager wants from your team. This
like,
is the thing.
yeah,
I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, but it depends what the manager wants from the team. I've noticed over time that he doesn't always want Enzo to create. He sometimes wants Enzo to start the build up or be part of the build up, and then he wants him to crash the box. You don't necessarily always see someone like a Pedri crash the box. They usually just sitting back and just
yeah,
create,
yeah, yeah,
or they just move forward a little bit, or they just
yeah,
go a bit forward and then they keep creating, but they don't really crash the box.
no,
Enzo, because of how he usually finds himself in certain positions, he's alright if he goes into the box. It's just that some people want Enzo to do things that is not in his game, or might be in his game. Because for me, I like when Enzo just deep line playmaker. You can get him from deep. You know how he can pass the ball wide. He can do it. I know that this season he hasn't looked fit, and he barely played in preseason either. If you remember, he was on the
yeah,
bench the first
yeah,
game, just about played. So it's not like he managed to get himself fit anyway. But I think with him, we'll see improvements slowly. But I do kind of see your concerns. I understand that. Midfield, I think that's probably our most the position with a lot, the most depth. But this is my thing. Palmer, João Pedro can play there, Estaval can play there, and someone else can play there. I forgot their name, but there must be another person. Andre Santos can play in the 10. Not that is his main position, but he's done it for Strasbourg. In terms of depth, we do have someone, but it depends on how you look at it and whether you think it's the right level of depth.
yeah. Because I mean, when I'm kind of thinking about that, I'm looking for someone that can do something different. It might not be up to, a Palmer level, but someone that can give us a little bit of. To be honest with you, I'm not saying Pedro playing too much of games as a number 10. I'm not seeing playing too much of games as a number 10. I'm seeing him as a pure striker that can go into games and score. Because when you look at this guy, the way he score goals shows that he needs to be in the box all the time.
Okay,
You wanna,
you're right. But
yeah,
in the last two games when we've seen him play with the lap,
yeah.
he wasn't playing as a striker.
He wasn't playing as a striker.
You had the lap occupying the two defenders, and then he was drifting out wide.
Yeah,
He was drifting out wide, which allowed him to drift wide because he had all that space, that corridor in the mid, just outside the box where he can go link up with this person or go link up with this person and then be in the box.
yeah,
So he is offering us something different. I think now he might play more of a striker because obviously the lap's not there.
yeah,
Obviously Palmer's injured too. You can play another midfielder in midfield instead of Enzo Fernandez and then put Enzo Fernandez in the 10. Do you get
yeah,
it? So
yeah. Honestly, because we have
you
opportunity.
remember, sorry, bro, but you do remember when Potter against West Ham and that when he was manager, Do you remember when Felix came in and we had that period where Enzo and Felix were linking up?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Enzo Fernandez were playing in the 10,
Yeah.
and we were playing, I think, Felix false 9
Hmm.
instead of Aubameyang and all the other strikers we had. We were playing him. So I do think he can offer us. So like in terms of depth, we have it. It's just that it depends on what you want. Now I told you I'm Dutch. I was like, listen, bring Xavi Simmons. I'm fine.
Yeah,
But for me, if and I said this before, obviously it didn't happen. The Xavi Simmons deal was a bit weird. We knew that obviously Leipzig wanted to 60 million total package, and then they changed their mind to 60 million fixed fee. And then Chelsea was like, nah, and they were trying to see if they can get Fermin Lopez, which we found out today they didn't get him. Now, if they ended up getting Fermin Lopez, I'm like, okay, you know what? That's cool because Xavi Simmons is known to have inconsistencies.
yeah,
The way I saw him play in our team is either the backup to Palmer or he plays in the 2 10s. Because sometimes Maresca likes to change formation. He will have 2 10s. We played that against Leicester last season at
yeah,
home, I think. But remember when he played Felix and Palmer together?
yeah,
So you can have Xavi Simmons on the left hand side, kind of playing.
yeah,
So, but for me, he was a bit more like Eze, where you'd rather have him in the 10. He can play on the left, but you don't really want to. You prefer him in the 10. He can
yeah.
do a job there,
Absolutely.
but we're not gonna start him there week in week out. Obviously, we found out we didn't get either, which is obviously I don't like it either. But at the same time, it's it is something that I'm looking at and thinking, yeah, but my midfield has never really been something I looked at and I thought, oh, we need to help. I've always, for me, looked at our centre backs and the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper for me was one of the main ones.
Absolutely,
Not
absolutely.
too much watch alongs where I was just Sanchez, 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 Sanchez. We've lost games because of him. He's made certain mistakes, and he the makes because we had two issues: the goalkeeper and the striker.
Yeah,
What was
that's what we
happening?
used to have in it.
Yeah. So what would happen to us would be we would score early. Palmer, if you remember Bournemouth game, we scored early. Palmer scored, chipped the goalkeeper or something, wherever it was
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
time, and
yeah,
then we miss a couple of chances, very important in the game when the momentum is for us. So
yeah.
Jackson might miss very easy chances. Then just before half time, Sanchez makes a mistake,
And they
and then
scored.
we 1-1. So
Let's
instead of
go.
going to the changing room with confidence, we now come back. We have to win. There's pressure on us again. Now you come back, they still have momentum, or we have momentum, and then all of a sudden you lose in the game.
Yeah, 2-1.
Yes. So what I'm saying is, I feel like even though he ended the season well, I was expecting Petrovic to be our main goalkeeper. That obviously didn't happen, which is another thing they messed up. Maybe he's not good enough. Maybe he's good enough. I haven't watched much of him. I know his passing has improved dramatically when he was at Strasbourg, but obviously he's gone now. Mac Magnan, he's not really in the best condition in terms of where he was a couple of years ago when he was top
Yeah,
goalkeeper, but you can't go worse than Sanchez. Like as a goalkeeper, I don't think you can go worse than Sanchez. But
yeah,
that's it's a weird one because for me, I was very happy with Hato. I feel like in Holland they call him the left-footed timber. Yeah,
really.
yeah, because he's just not as good as him defensively yet, but he's 19, so he's very good, and he could play left back and left centre back,
Left centre
which
back.
which
Yeah,
also points us to Mr. Renato Vega who failed us.
yeah,
It's another
absolutely.
problem, but I was happy with him because we can finally rest Cucurella.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
someone that played 5,000 minutes, I think, in the last year. So it was very important to rest him.
yeah,
Um, and he can also play left centre back. Now, my issue's always been right centre back.
yeah,
Right centre back, obviously, we have the issues with Fafana. We don't know how it's going to be. Hopefully, he gets back fit. He's finally done the surgery.
yeah.
I'm all right with Tosin because he's never really put a foot wrong since he came to the club. I know he's slow. He reminds me of Thiago Silva. When Thiago Silva was in the game.
Absolutely, yeah.
But Thiago Silva was very
Very fast and like,
wasn't fast, but because he was so smart, he knew when to make the tackle. He knew when to be because he knew he had the IQ. He never
yeah,
had the pace. But yeah, Poch also played him highline against Liverpool. I'll never forgive him for that. Remember he played him in the highline against Liverpool when we lost at Anfield.
hmm
But For me, I think my main concern has always been the goalkeeper, and obviously we at the time fixed the strikers. When we spoke about the two strikers, I was happy. I didn't know João Pedro was gonna be this good, but when I spoke to some other fans, they were like, "No, no, 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 no. We see him as like." I remember Hussam told me, the Liverpool fan. He said, "No, no, 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 no. He's gonna be like Firmino region. This is how highly I rate him." I said, "Yo,
Yeah, I would. To be honest, I was so pleased with
I
him.
thought he was like
I
a
used to watch him in Brighton, and I know what this guy is capable of doing. You know,
yeah, but
but
I thought he was
he
like a
scored. He
Jackson, bro.
scored.
I
He
thought he was
scored
like a
like
Jackson."
all the top six last season. I remember the goal against Man City was crazy goal. So I used to watch this lad,
Yeah, but I
and I
thought he
know
was like
how
Jackson,
dangerous he
bro. I
is.
thought he was a bit like Jackson. Because remember, Jackson plays good football, but he never
Yeah, but
step up.
when you're talking about Brazilians, they've always got something special.
Yeah, yeah, but they also
Always
they
keep
have good
feeling.
feet and everything. But
Yeah.
the problem
So,
usually is, can they finish or can they not finish?
mhm,
Because some of them they can't finish.
yeah.
Yeah, so you have this thing where he was not necessarily known for his finishing. He was known for everything else he can do.
Yeah.
And he's come and he's impressed. And he's like, okay, wow, okay, he's excelled. You know what I mean? He's done way better than I expected. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, our strikers thing sorted. So if we keep back Jackson as backup, as in third striker or whatever, then I'm fine. Obviously, we've kind of downgraded that position, but that's so when I was looking at it, I said, yo, if we can get the 10, which I expected to come in but never came in, which was very strange.
Yeah.
Ended up getting this Buona Nota guy. For me, it was like, he may, even if he has potential, why are you bringing him on loan?
Yeah, yeah, that's the problem. That's why I keep saying, like, to me, I don't know, like Bonnet, I don't know, bro, because I feel like, if are you gonna throw in him against Barcelona, against Bayern Munich? To be honest, sometimes when we do some deals, some bringing in some players, it's weird. It's weird because we're playing Champions League, you're playing. I don't know. How do you wanna? Because all these guys you're talking about, Enzo Fernandez, Casado, they can't play every game.
Yeah,
Next,
but midfield, don't worry about midfield, bro.
he's got to play.
Andre Santos is good. Osugo's look, bro. Preseason, you've seen Osugo, bro.
I've seen Sugo,
Osugo looks literally
yeah,
like Caicedo, bro.
but these guys cannot create. They can only, to me, I feel like this guy.
Andre Santos can create. Osugo, obviously, is a DM.
So, but we need to start. We need if we want Santos in that level. We need to start, implementing him in games, even in Premier League. We need to
Yeah,
start
but he's
making.
playing. He's coming off the bench.
Yeah, when he comes on, it doesn't play like. To me, the games that he came on, it was playing. It was playing in Casado the way I see it. It was not even playing as a number 8 because we're trying to reserve the score, and we're trying to keep what we've
Yeah,
got.
but
So
this
it's
is the
not
thing.
really,
This is why it's
trying
only
to
the third game of the
give
season
them
or fourth
possession.
game of the season. It's too early for us to see what Maresca wants him to do yet. But for me, I think our midfield. I still think our midfield's good enough, even with the backups.
Yeah,
Because you also need to know it's our thing is the way we play. Like from last season, we have the third best defense in the league. If you and I didn't know this, if you asked me this question randomly and I didn't know about this stat, I would have told you a lying. With the goalkeeper issue we had and the defensive inconsistencies, how can we have the third best defense in the league? So my thing's been,
yeah,
Lever Cole was improved at the end of the season, right?
yeah,
He was
absolutely.
good. He was all right in the beginning, and then he went really bad, and then he came back. Now to help to back him up a little bit, he's never had a consistent partner with him. He was
Yeah,
really good with
so
Fofana, and then every time he kept changing someone else,
yeah,
you knew that it was
Achipong, Tosin,
whatever.
just
He kept changing.
rolling
Yes.
around. Yeah,
Obviously, he's improved a lot now. He's a bit more confident. He also knows how the manager wants you to play.
yeah,
Because this is another thing. The goalkeeper doesn't inspire a lot of confidence when he is as shaky as Sanchez was,
yeah,
especially playing at the back. If
yeah,
you're gonna play at the back the way we do, very inviting the opposition, you need to you need to be confident. The problem, because you make so much mistakes, even the defenders are erratic because they
yeah.
always feel
They're
like they
always
need to
curious.
cover
Like
things.
they don't know what Sanchez is gonna do. Like, you know,
Yeah,
yeah,
but this is why the defenders are not comfortable.
hmm
They always feel like they have to cover for him. or they have to make that last minute tackle. They have to
Yeah,
do this
extra
because if I
effort,
don't do it,
extra effort
I
just to
don't trust the goalkeeper to do it.
yeah.
So I then always blame everything on the defenders, and it also made them look worse than they actually are.
Hmm.
And I feel like that run we had at the end was more of a representation of how we actually are at the level. And you saw that consistency also in the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
I know that we lost against Flamengo and
Flamengo, yeah, yeah. That was
it
the
was an
only
off game,
yeah.
but and I think we had one of the games where the goalkeeper, I think it was Benfica, yeah, when the goalkeeper almost let it go between his legs. So I've done that. One of the games, remember?
Oh yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
was Flamengo. Flamengo was one of them where Sanchez made that mistake, one of the headers or something. He made a mistake, one of
Oh,
those.
yeah, I think is it the second goal? I think or something. I
Yeah,
can't really
he was standing like this and the ball just went in.
remember. Yeah,
But Sanchez is not a bad shot stopper. He just has
it's not.
bozo moments. If he can clear the bozo moments, he's not as bad. Because remember, he's all right as a shot stopper.
Hmm.
But for
Yeah,
me, I was just tired of him. Bro. You know when you're just tired of a play, you just tell him, you know what, just go now.
yeah,
But for me, our playing style and the way the manager wants to play, I don't know about you, but I have seen it really just hit the level in the Club World Cup. Like not the final. The final was an idea of how what we could be at, but not even just at our best, very close to our best.
absolutely. Yeah.
And I wanted to see that a bit more consistently, and we saw that in preseason. In preseason, we kind of played like we did in the Club World Cup. We moved the ball fast.
Yeah,
Obviously, now next
yeah,
round now is a bit more exciting. You have a bit more of different footballers,
yeah.
and you now have the finishers as well. You had the Dalap goal against Leverkusen, AC Milan, was it? You finally had someone that's like a striker, first time bottom corner, finish.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, with
Just say that.
Crystal Palace, I'll tell you about Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace was a bit more like, I don't know if you remember Crystal Palace. They've won the FA Cup. They've just about come from
Community Shield as well.
beating the Community Shield, so they're
Yeah,
still on a high.
yeah.
We were a bit nervous, and things were just a little bit off, and they also flooded the midfield.
Yeah, that's what I keep saying. I said when you play in Crystal Palace, it's a ball. It's a different ball game. These guys, they are the best. To me, they are the best in what they do. I think the low blocks works for them a lot, and they know how to play it.
Oh,
And they've
look at the
got
centre backs.
yeah,
Look
they've
at the
got the
centre backs.
best. They've got the
Lacroix, Gahey,
yeah,
and what's the other guy's name?
yeah.
Richard.
Lacrosse. What's it called?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lacroix, Gahey, and Richards.
Oh, Richard, the guy. Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
with the afro.
And they've
You
got
have those
Munoz.
three.
They've got Munoz as well. They've got Michel as well. So these guys, they know how to do the business.
Mhm.
They know how to do the business, and that's why we.
So I never. It was a mixture of us not being good enough, but them also being good.
Yeah,
I don't see it.
what they do. Yeah.
I don't see it as us being just very poor and that's it. I just feel like it was a bit of both. And
Yeah.
then if you look at West Ham, I know they're poor. Mike's is my guy. You know West Ham fan Mike's? He's my guy. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I know how bad West Ham is. When you watch his content, you realize he's been telling me from last season that he believes West Ham will get relegated. And this season, you've seen it's almost confirmation. They let Emerson go. They almost let Paqueta go.
Almost. Yeah.
Almost. So I know that they were bad, but we were also really good in that game because you can easily after you remember from last season or the season before that if we go 1-0 down, we can lose this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I know that that's not the benchmark, but at the same time, the goals we scored, finally scoring from set pieces, which is something we haven't done in a long time.
Long time. Yeah.
And
That's why
also the way the players were playing, Estevao was playing really well, being called
really
up last
being
minute.
open, the
Joao
way he
Pedro was
presses
playing,
is
yeah,
the way he
yeah, yeah.
presses is quite different, and that's what I really appreciate. Bringing in these young lads is he's just bringing something different into into the club. The way it takes on is mad. You see what he does against Fulham. You know what he's gonna do. He's coming for you directly. He's gonna take you on, and
Mhm.
that's one thing I just do like about him. The fact that he's gonna come for you. We have that sort of player now that we knows that he's moving forward. He's not always being scared of taking defenders on. And the way he's being able to kind of link into the game to me, I feel like it's special. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a special. I just can't wait to see what comes around. I'm not kind of expecting too much from him this season. Honestly, young player coming from Brazil needs to adapt with the system. So, but I just want
Yeah,
to see,
I get it.
and
Yeah,
that's one of the business that I feel like we did really, really well on. I mean, top notch because
yeah. But for
we,
me, with him, and he showed it. We also realized it in the Club World Cup that the Brazilian clubs are were some of the most physical teams. So the whole thing about him
absolutely,
being
yeah.
too small and that, and he
Mhm.
showed it also when he's come in the Premier League. The physicality has never really been the problem.
Yeah,
For me, it's just been a little bit of his decision making. I think Fulham game he could have been a bit more selfish,
yeah.
and he could have put more
Yeah.
shot. His ball striking for someone his age is really good as well.
Yeah,
So you know the goal he scored against us, bro. Not a lot of 18-year-olds have that much power to shoot like that
yeah,
weak.
yeah. With a
So
good foot in it, yeah,
we want to see that a bit more often. But at the same time, for me, I'm I just feel like I'm with Maresca, bro. Because you know Maresca, if he doesn't trust you, he's not gonna play you. He didn't trust
yeah.
Felix,
That's
he
it.
never played him.
Yeah.
The if he trusts him, I believe he trusts him, and this is why he gave him the minutes.
Mhm.
And to call him last minute and say, "Yo, I'm gonna give you your start." Palmer's injured play, and he's played.
That's a huge
I know
call.
it's West Ham, but it's still Premier League opposition. It's
Yeah,
still, what happened. I know it's West Ham, but a lot of the times you still have to perform and win the games.
yeah. Of
We've
course,
seen it
yeah,
in previous seasons where we go to teams where we should be winning and we come back with a draw or we don't win the game.
yeah.
And we
Okay.
also, because we played the way we played against Crystal Palace, we had to perform. And a lot of the times when we have to perform in the league,
Mhm.
sometimes we've seen how we lost back to back to back to back. We had like 9 losses, or we didn't get a win in 9 games or 13 games
Yeah,
last season.
I
So it
think
can
in January.
go.
Yeah,
So the mentality has changed, but we also integrating some of these new players to play.
yeah,
So we also have to kind of accommodate for that. But at the same time, I just feel like the way we play football, and I think one of our main losses is Colwell because of the whole
yeah.
build
Absolutely.
up.
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
know how he breaks the lines with those passes.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
then the midfielder turns and he creates, or we pass it straight into the striker or someone. I feel like we're missing those a little bit, but Tosin is doing a good enough job, and I think we've seen that in the West Ham game.
yeah.
There's a couple
Absolutely.
of times where we pass it to the lab, pass it to someone, and they turn and we start creating chances.
Mhm.
I just don't necessarily feel like we've seen the best work that we can do yet,
Yeah,
but I'm not worried because these players have shown me that they can do it. And the players that we bought in are actually, besides the one guy, and you know who I'm talking about, yeah,
yeah,
they know what to do. So when it comes to Garnacho, I'm not gonna see him. I don't think he's gonna be what I call the human heated seats. He's just gonna sit on the bench, warm up the bench for the people when they come off. Yeah, that's it. Or he can give them water or something. But for me, that was a wasted signing. Now
yeah.
we also found out today that Tyreek George's move has collapsed,
Last, yeah,
which means he's gonna be part of the squad,
yeah.
and that helps us because we got a bit more depth.
Mhm.
I'm not really fussed about that. I like Tyreek George. I know that he's not thing, but 22 million was crazy money with like 20% sell on close, yeah.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. Yeah,
for me, I would tell you don't be worried because we do have quality. Santos was one of the best midfielders in
in the French
French
league.
football
Yeah,
for his age. I feel like we always are very worried, and I just feel like sometimes with what's going on, my thing is this: I don't believe the board or the owners have backed Maresca the right way. I know that we've got the strikers. I just feel like we could have maybe got another centre back and a goalkeeper, and then you could say anything after that might be, cool. The Garnacho money, maybe we should have spent that on towards bringing a backup 10, or like there's some things
yeah.
that could put us really close to Liverpool, or maybe take us ahead. Obviously, before they got Isak, innit? But
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
so
Honestly,
because of that, I'm not gonna put too much pressure on Maresca because I feel like it's unfair. If he had these players, then I would say, cool. Now you have to win this, or now you have to win that, right?
absolutely. Now,
But
that's what I'm trying to say when I kind of talk about the squad depth. The squad. I'm just trying to say that we don't have that depth that you can be so much expecting too much. Let's just keep it game after game. Let's see what we can do. We're not kind of with what we have right now that I am seeing. I'm not seeing us as we go in and win every game in the Premier League. We go in and compete with the big boys or all these things. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But I see us, as a young team that can, win some games. Like there will be a certain difference from what we've done last season. To be honest, I don't see us losing games the way we did last season, and obviously that shows a lot in the Fulham game. You know what happened to us last season against Fulham? We lost the game in the dying minute.
Yeah, because
But
Sanchez made
yeah,
no mistake, kicked the ball
yeah.
in the air.
But this season, there's a little bit of difference. We keep going, we keep making things happen, and obviously we're able to win the game.
Hmm.
So to me, I feel like we won the World Club Cup, the Conference League. Chelsea fan, there's too much of high hope out there. But what I'm saying is, we're not just at that level yet. So at the
Okay, but
point we
what
might be
what are your
struggling.
aims? What are your aims for this season?
So what we've got right now, I'm thinking, yeah, we're probably going to be in top four if we maintain the high level of play. If we have all the players fit, no
Mhm.
injury problems, you know, we keep going this way. There's high possibility of being in the top four, maybe finishing the top four, like maybe fourth, third, or something. I don't know, but in Champions League, I don't know how we're gonna go. How we're gonna do it. I don't really see us
Yeah, but you
getting.
see, this is the thing what you're not thinking
Yeah,
about. Champions League, a lot of teams are more open,
yeah,
right? A lot of teams come and play the high line.
hmm
Bayern Munich plays a high line. Barcelona play a high lines. I know that they're very attacking and very dangerous. Yeah, I'm not discounting that, but that also allows us to attack them from behind.
yeah, absolutely.
So it's an open game. Our main issue has always been those teams that don't allow us to attack. We always have to play low blocks.
Yeah,
When you
yeah,
have players that don't have the ability to break down low blocks, and you don't have someone who's a good striker,
to
the
yeah,
opportunity you get, you don't actually finish.
yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. This is why you see people like Jokeris and that playing so well in Champions League, but they struggle in league games
hmm
because they have all that space in behind in other leagues.
Yeah,
To me, Bayern Munich, they play with some of the most haram line you'll see in your life. Yeah, remember when they played
yeah,
Barcelona and they kept getting chipped?
yeah.
Happens. They all got beaten by final last season. They have been beaten before. So, and final showed it. They don't have the best qualities. They beat Man
Mhm.
City. They beat final. Bayern Munich. They beat Benfica. I know that because we haven't been in the Champions League for a while, we still kind of look at it like wow. But for me, I think we'll get to like the semi-finals, bro. At minimum.
Mm.
Yeah, 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 bro. Because remember, we can control games and we can also do the attack. We
Yeah.
don't just play football high line and full attack.
hmm
This is why our injuries also have decreased from the Poch era.
Yeah, yeah. The
It
way
was
we
less
play, yeah.
running, but Poch didn't have tactics. Poch was a bit like Klopp, where it's just press, 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 and then create the chance, find a way to create a chance.
hmm
Whereas with us, we get the ball back, and then we can slow it down to our tempo. Now,
Yeah.
just quickly, yeah, if you've noticed under the whole Maresca era, or whatever you want to call it, we always start slowing games.
That's it. That's what
But let
we're
me
always
explain.
very slow.
The
The way
reason we do that is because
yeah.
every single time we get an opposition, most of the time they want to beat us because they're lower down the table than us or they're smaller clubs, right? So those clubs usually start with a higher tempo
High
because they
tempo,
want to see you
yeah,
get a
high
goal.
intensity, yeah.
Now with us, the way we play football is we want to assess what the opposition's doing.
hmm
Sometimes the manager makes maybe a slight change or whatever, but in that period of time, we want to get the ball and slow down the tempo to our
Level, yeah.
quiet tempo, and then we want to control how quick we want to play or how slow we want to play. This is why we start slow because you have to get whoever's all the top, drag him down and say, no, 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 we're doing it to our pace.
Our own pace, yeah.
But what's happening to us because the opposition tries to start on a high note is before we used to concede a lot because we weren't ready or we didn't realize that we switch off for mistakes. But now we just wait for a bit, we deal with it, we slow it down, and then we play our game. This is why the starting slow thing has never really been a problem for me because I noticed that it's almost every game we do it. And
But
it's not a mistake thing, it's more of a
but the reality is gonna set in there because I feel like we still need to do. a little bit of things, because if you keep starting slow that way, there's some teams, there's some clubs
They
that
can't
can
punish you.
easily punish you
Yes, yes,
two,
I
three
agree. I
goals
agree.
in 10 minutes. The way we did for PSG, some clubs can do it for us as well, because when we start slow and they're on high intensity and they've got the players that's gonna kill the game,
Mhm.
bro. Before you know it,
But I
you
trust
3
Maresca to
down.
do the game plan. That's the thing because Maresca's shown that he's very flexible,
Yeah.
and he was part of the reason also why we lost a lot of games last season because he was all of a sudden he wasn't flexible or he wasn't using the bench and all that. But he's shown us that he is flexible. He changed a lot tactics a lot, and he's also shown that in that when he has to have a game plan for a specific game, he can show us. Bro, when we weren't this good, we went to Anfield and we played better than them, bro.
Yeah.
We just didn't finish and win the game. And
Yeah.
even Slot till this day is like, listen, Chelsea very dangerous. That's what's with our
Absolutely.
striker.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that gives me an idea that when we sort out our part of our spine, which is our strikers and our goalkeeper, and that was part of our spine. So if your goalkeeper, okay, cool, we haven't upgraded, but if he's improved, our defense has improved in terms of as a unit. They
Yeah.
understand what they need to do. They understand what positions to be in. Your midfield, yes, we have extra depth there, and things are going better than they were before in terms of the partnership. And you have finally got someone who can finish. I think that that was the gap that we were missing. It's a very big gap because we had most of the players are the same, but when you're missing key players in two positions or two positions that are
It's crucial. Yeah.
striker and goalkeeper
Yeah.
as bad as they were at certain parts of the season, that affects you a lot because once you start going to see how much Palmer's created in last season, he's created so many clear cut chances. You know the chances that Jackson missed in the little box, not the 16, not the penalty area, the very small box where the
Yeah.
goalkeeper takes the
Yeah.
kicks from, is the chances the lap had the whole season.
Hmm.
Not in the box, just in general.
In
All
general,
those were created
crazy.
from Palmer to Jackson.
That's crazy.
So and that's like 40 something chances.
Yeah.
So for me, it's always been if you can get someone better than that, maybe that number can increase because
Yeah. Alongside having the goalkeeper that has caused major errors to goals as well. So I think that
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
gives us a lot.
I
That's
agree, but I don't necessarily think that Jurgensen is bad. Do you get it? I don't think he's bad, and I
mm,
feel like if he now knows also that he's on his still. So if Sanchez isn't performing, if you watch enough of Sanchez from what we've seen, he's quite comfortable on the ball.
mm,
And he's actually alright. So it's not as bad as like our drop off isn't crazy. And I feel like they haven't. So I think they stuck with Sanchez because they want to bring back Pendes next year.
hmm.
So we'll see what happens with that. But so far for me,
Yeah.
I'm not really worried. I think my prediction before the window closed or like when the window's open and that, I felt for me, I said we will finish second or third. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Honestly, that to be honest, I was
let me
saying
explain it to you. Let me explain it to you, and then you get back. Sorry, yeah, but it's like Liverpool for me was about we can. Where if you look at other teams now, I've never believed Arsenal could win the league for the last 5 years. So I'm chilling. Yeah, I'm chilling. And then when you come and play the football that they're playing, I don't. You've seen it on the weekend. I don't
yeah,
expect you to win anything. You don't win anything if you fully rely on crosses and set pieces.
yeah, yeah.
So
That's
you have that aspect. Then you have City. I think City was one of our most dangerous teams that's around us.
hmm.
And it depends on whether they come back or not. If they keep playing the way they're playing, I'm not worried about City in that aspect.
Yeah, but they
If they
need to play.
improve, I think they're the only team that can go higher than us. And obviously Liverpool, I think we're the closest challenges to Liverpool, depending on what City does.
Yeah, yeah,
I
absolutely.
had Arsenal finishing fourth because this is my thing. Yeah, Arsenal, they never changed the way they play to suit Gyökeres and also the other players. If Gyökeres scores goals, is in spite of the manager.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah,
And the way they play, you've seen it. If you watch the Liverpool game, it's like he's not there.
it's not
Just a
functional.
guy. So
I can't even think of him having three shots on
he
target or
didn't
something.
have anything, bro. He didn't have a single thing. So for me, he if they score goals, it's gonna be in spite of the manager, and they're not playing in the best way. And
Yeah,
that way is not gonna play. We've played this kind of way before, not as bad as this with Mourinho and Conte, but even then there was some exciting football. It wasn't this
yeah,
boring. But it's not just about being boring. They have the lowest XG in the league, bro. I know it's third game, 3 games in, but they
yeah.
have Eze. So all they've done is upgrade personnel, but not actually adjust the best way for them to play.
To play, yeah.
He plays the way he played in that season when he was 8 points ahead.
Mhm.
With this team that he has now, the best defense, midfield is rubbish. Their midfield's rubbish. Don't forget the Zubamendi. Declan Rice is someone. He's one of the reasons why they can't play
Yeah, because
1-1-6.
these guys are overhyped in it. They are not.
Yeah, yeah. Their
As,
left wingers ain't great. Gyökeres is good, and they have our old guy Madueke. Yeah, Saka's a good player to a certain extent, but that's a different story as well.
mm.
So if you look at the team, it's not that good.
No, I'm not. I'm not really bothered about Arsenal
Exactly.
because
So for
all
me, this is
true.
what I'm saying. If you start looking, don't start looking too low on the table. Tottenham, I think, is someone that's going to surprise a lot of people because of
Yeah,
how they're
absolutely.
playing more compact.
Yeah,
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 I'm not
because
worried about them personally against us, but I'm saying they have a manager. They went from playing poch style football
yeah,
to playing a bit more compact, and
yeah,
I feel like they're
because
gonna have less injuries
I
than they have.
think I think for sports, yeah, I think the game against PSG really motivate them, shows them, a little bit of, yeah, guys, we can cook something. If you can play in that kind of a level with PSG, then there's a huge difference from what Anje is trying to do compared to what Frank is. You know what I mean? So to
Yeah,
me,
but I've said it. I told them that Frank's going to be a good manager with the people
yeah,
that I know. Yeah, and I
yeah,
said to them, I said, look, he's a bit more compact, which means he's gonna set up in certain ways, and
yeah,
he'll play to the way that he wants to get the best out of the players.
yeah,
So for him, as long as he gets better quality, which he has with Javi Simmons, Kudus, Richarlison, obviously Solanke's injured. They got Colomwani today. He's not. I
yeah.
don't really rate him, but I think he'll still be able to do some job.
Yeah, Matisse Tell, they've got loads of players.
Because the problem is this: you can have squad depth, but if it's not the right level of squad depth
But
or the right quality, it's just players on the bench.
yeah, because to
So
me, I feel like sports has just too much players. They've got like three strikers now. They've got Random Kolomwani, they've got Richarlison,
no,
and
but
they've got this guy
Solanke's
as well.
injured long term.
What's it called?
Solanke's injured for a long
Solanke.
time.
Oh, for a long time. Yeah,
He's gonna have surgery, I think. So if he does get surgery, I think on his ankle, this is why they bought Colomwani.
Kolomwani.
Similar thing to us, to be
Yeah,
fair.
mm.
And Richarlison can get easily injured. We know how he is.
Yeah,
To
very,
someone else.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So obviously the 10, they needed to fix the 10.
yeah,
You know, the 10 issue was obviously Madison done the
yeah,
ACL.
yeah.
So they needed someone, and obviously with Javi Simmons, he knew he's gonna start every game. Whereas with us, he's not
Every
gonna start
game,
every game.
week in, week out, obviously, yeah. So,
Exactly. So for me, when I start going over it like this, you start realizing even fourth is an underachievement
yeah,
because now you're only talking about if anything happens with Liverpool, we should be their closest challenges. Even when I speak to Liverpool fans, they say some of them still have PTSD from the City days. So they say to you, no, 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 we're scared of City. Until City's dead, we don't believe.
yeah,
But with they usually say to us, we think Chelsea's our closest contender. Do you know
mm,
what I mean? So I think for me, I think depending on how we perform during the season,
mm,
I think that it's either second or third the lowest, bro. If Liverpool don't perform well for whatever reason, which I don't necessarily believe is gonna happen, but if it does happen,
yeah,
I want us to be there to be able to capitalize. That's how you win leagues. Sometimes you might not be that's how City done to Arsenal a couple of years ago.
yeah.
Arsenal was 93% ahead. Man City won it.
And the
We
Botchole,
won it. So Champions League, bro. Come on, we got heritage competitions. You know those competitions. Look, there's trophies behind me, brother, for a
yeah.
reason. These trophies are behind me for a reason. But
Bro, you've got almost everything in your box, bro.
but my thing is this: Champions League is similar to what we done in the Club World Cup. We like to rise to the occasion. A lot of these players, we know, okay, cool, haven't played there,
Yeah,
also want to play there.
yeah,
So Yes, the games might be a bit more open or whatever, but we do have, when you have the slightly lesser opposition, you can play the Andre Santos and this and that, so you can give them a rest.
Hmm.
And if we can get a few, like one or two domestic trophies and go far in the Champions League, that's fine. But
Yeah.
with the Champions League, it's where you end up. Because remember, on in 21, yeah, when we won the Champions League, I didn't really think we'd win it until
No,
when we beat
no way.
Atletico Madrid. Me,
No
I think
way.
we're gonna win it when we beat Atletico Madrid. That's
Yeah.
when I was like, yeah, we can win it.
Yeah.
But that team shouldn't have won a Champions League.
No way. You can't.
So this is what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about how the team's set up, not necessarily just the quality. Because once you start getting into a competition, it's about belief, moments. Do you get
Hmm.
it? It's about these kind of things, bro. Havertz and Werner got a Champions League medal, bro.
Hmm.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I'm not trying to say to you, make sure believe we're gonna win, we're gonna win, we're gonna win, and then we don't win. But at the same time, I don't really think that we should aim too low for this team because I don't necessarily think that team should be looked at as being that low.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I feel
Yeah.
like we should still
Absolutely.
be aiming high because we're still Chelsea. But
Yeah.
at the same time, we also need the team to rise up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people look at it, okay, the window's like this, the window's like that. I didn't really get what I wanted or whatever, but that doesn't mean now, okay, expectations go all the way down.
Hmm.
Because now we need to make sure the club goes and gets the players that we need to get in January to help the manager if that doesn't happen.
Hmm.
So it's about holding up the standards as well, isn't it? So you have to make sure you can do both. Of course, if you don't get the players that you need, it doesn't inspire the fans with much confidence either. So
Hmm.
if you don't get results, but I think the results, bro, the results can come. I think there is a bit of tiredness or legginess also from the amount of games we've played. I know
Yeah.
last season we got away with it with the Conference League, but
Yeah.
Club World Cup and that, our tiredness has come later. If you watch the Tottenham PSG game, they were tired and they looked
So
off.
tired.
They never had a preseason game, but they looked tired. They were missing passes. They were everything looked bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I was expecting them maybe, even though I said to Tottenham fans, you guys will probably if you
Yeah.
have Andrew get slapped,
Yeah.
Thomas Frank, you should be all right. But it just depends on what PSG you have. And I thought maybe they'll slap them because they're still annoyed because we slapped them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, because of that. But they never did it, and then just ended up winning at the end. But
Hmm.
for me, I feel like if you can go against the Champions League winners, and you need to remember a lot of these games are in the Champions League are one-off games.
Yeah.
Of course, the league phase, it depends where you end up, blah blah blah.
Yeah. But for just
But look at it though, Real Madrid ain't the greatest. Bayern Munich fans they moaning, yeah. Who's the Real Madrid ain't good right now. They're still figuring out
no.
what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
When
know
you
the
look at
league and they scored goals, but you've seen how they done in the Club World Cup. They still, you know how long it takes to get used to possession-based football with these.
yeah, they're far away from last 2 seasons, last 3 seasons.
Mhm.
I don't know when they're gonna get back to that form. To be honest, right
I think
now,
Barcelona,
yeah,
even Inter now. Inter has a new manager. He's not even an experienced manager, and that someone young. He's not. They're not looking the greatest. They still have old players and all that problems. So if you start going through the teams, there's only literally a couple of teams that can potentially actually go for the title for the Champions League, and that's probably what Chelsea, City, Liverpool, obviously with their squad.
oh, of course, yeah, with Isak,
Of course, you're not going to count out Bayern Munich and some of these teams because anyone can win a two-legged game.
hmm,
You get the point. There's not a lot of teams that you would look at and say Chelsea can't beat them.
yeah,
So,
absolutely, yeah,
yeah, obviously the injuries can potentially stop you
hmm,
or make you weaker to certain games. I understand that, but we have a lot of players. We have Chalaba, we have Tosin, we do have the players, and on one of them they can actually perform.
yeah,
So I don't necessarily think that we're as bad as some people make it be, but obviously we want to have the best players and have all the squad depth to make sure we're ready for the season. So I understand where you're coming from as well. So yeah, man.
ah, thank you very much. Yes, yeah, it was a top-notch analysis from you. To be honest, really, really enjoying this, and I hope you guys would enjoy and take one or few things from this analysis tonight, guys. Big shout out to Yasher. Please subscribe to this channel. Like I said, it's a family things. Let's keep growing. There's a lot of things coming on the way, and your support is really really much appreciated. And of course, we'll see you on to the next one. Please drop your comment section. Let's know what you feel. Let's know what you think. That's much appreciated. That way we can connect. We can, have sort of a lot of discussion coming up as well. So thank you for everyone for, watching out on this one. And Yashir, just on to you now, just to say one or two things to the fans. And yeah,
Yeah, listen, just like I said before, man, just make sure you're liking and subscribing. You know what I mean? Support the Blues TV channel. You know what I'm saying? If you're around Stamford Bridge, go look for him. You know what I'm saying? And give him your match reaction, or you know what I'm saying? Let him know that.
yeah,
Do listen. Just make sure you show the guy some love. And yeah, man, let us know your thoughts in the comments. You know what I'm saying? When the video comes out. Do you disagree with me, or do you not disagree with me? Do you disagree with Kharshy? Listen, just let us know. And yeah, like I said, just make sure you're liking the video, subscribing, support the channel. And yeah, man, listen, it was a great chat. And it's good to obviously speak to a fellow Chelsea fan, because sometimes you want to see where your ideas are from and where my ideas come from.
yeah,
And it's also good to see, you have to sometimes back your ideas. Maybe,
yeah,
you have some doubts, or I have some doubts. And then sometimes you see, maybe you're not looking at something the way I'm looking at it. Do you know what I'm saying? You see the different perspectives. So
yeah.
listen, it was a great chat, man. Very nice chat. And yeah, man. Like I said, just make sure you should show the guy some love, man. And thank you for having me on again.
Yeah. We'll see you on to the next one, guys. Peace and love.